Supermodel Roslynn Stride is beautiful, successful, and has been working as a successful Victoria's Secret model since 2014. The 26-year-old Dutch model is also a real social media star and has almost 7 million subscribers on Instagram and 1.8 million people follow her on her YouTube channel. She has achieved everything she dreamed of as a child, and exclusive fashion brands such as Dior, Burberry, and Louis Vuitton are also courting the beautiful Dutch model, who now has a fortune of several million US dollars in her account. But the glamorous life also has its downsides. Permanent stress, extreme pressure, and strict dieting put the top model under more and more strain in the course of her career. This even brought her to the brink of a breakdown, and her health was in great danger. We therefore want to take a look at the everyday life of a top model, and show you a day in the extraordinary and also sad life of a Victoria's Secret angel. But let's start with Roslynn Stride's everyday life. For the supermodel, it usually starts in Amsterdam. After living exclusively in New York for several years, she moved back to her home country in 2019. Here, she owns an apartment with her husband, Laurens van Leeuwen, with whom she has been together for 11 years, and also witnessed her beginnings as a model. He accompanies the top model to almost all fashion shows, as well as casting appointments, and is also responsible for her YouTube channel. From their apartment, they have a spectacular view of the canals of Amsterdam. In addition, the couple has an extravagant interior, which was planned by an interior designer. Of course, they also have a walk-in closet, but it is relatively small for a supermodel. Before the top model gets up at 6 AM, she first drinks a whole glass of water to boost her metabolism. She also takes various probiotic and prebiotic capsules to boost her health. After that, she has her breakfast, and while for many people, it consists of toast or sweet cornflakes, the supermodel relies on lots of fresh fruit, coconut yogurt or oat milk, protein powder, and especially chia seeds. She even takes the ingredients for her breakfast with her from home when she travels. Afterwards, she gets ready for the day. And here again, her routine differs from most other people, because for Roslynn Stride, her appearance is her asset, which is why she tries out many things to keep her body fit. For example, she brushes her entire body with a brush before she gets into the shower. Supposedly, this is supposed to boost blood circulation and reduce cellulite. She then applies her face care, which consists of many different creams, serums, and sunscreens. Because her body always has to be perfectly toned, she then goes to work out with her personal fitness trainer. She works out in the studio for over an hour almost every day. When photo shoots or big fashion shows are coming up, where not a gram too much should be visible on her body, she even goes to the gym twice a day. To enhance this effect, she often goes to a so-called cryosauna afterwards. There, she spends 3 minutes at up to -150 degrees, because the extreme cold is supposed to reduce joint and muscle pain, inhibit inflammation, and, above all, burn calories. Lymphatic drainage to get rid of excess water in the body is also a regular part of her beauty routine. But if you think that Roslynn Stride is all about well-being, you're wrong. Her everyday life is often the opposite of rosy. The supermodel herself emphasizes that such days are rather the exception, because a normal working day is extremely stressful. The 26-year-old often gets up at 4:30 AM so that she can complete her training program before she has to go to a job. She then rarely has time for a hearty breakfast, and instead eats breakfast in a cab, on the train, or on the plane on the way to her next appointment. She also doesn't get enough sleep, and on many days, she has to make do with a 2-hour nap on the plane or in the car. Especially as a Victoria's Secret angel, she is bound to certain obligations and has to be available for photo shoots, press appointments, and even store openings all year round. Other jobs or campaigns have to take a back seat. Although she receives a fixed annual salary for this, the job as a Victoria's Secret angel is no longer as lucrative as it once was. While Heidi Klum or Giselle Bündchen are said to have earned up to $40 million a year, the salary has been extremely cut in recent years. In the meantime, it is said to be only $100,000. And there is a specific reason for this. Victoria's Secret has suffered in recent years from increasingly poor sales figures, and the shares of the parent company, Limited Brands, have also lost immensely in value. The image of the underwear company has also been tarnished. The concept of the flawless and well-trained angel no longer fits at all with the latest trends in the fashion industry. More and more labels are focusing on diversity, on women of color, and on different body sizes. This is one reason why supermodels like Dutzen Kroos, Carly Kloss, and Alessandra Ambrosio have also hung up their wings in recent years. The famous fashion show, which had been the company's trademark since 1995 and made many models world famous, also took place for the last time in 2018 for cost reasons. How stressful the other appointments for Victoria's Secret can still be, Romys Stride repeatedly lets slip on her YouTube channel. While she rushes from one photo shoot or fitting to the next, she hardly has time to eat. Instead, she keeps her head above water with snacks like apples, blueberries, or protein shakes. In between, she always treats herself to coffee and drinks up to 7 cups on a normal workday. And even when she does have time for lunch, it usually consists of salad or a vegetable bowl with fish. Adriana Lima, who floated down the Victoria's Secret catwalk a total of 17 times as an angel, even once told that she would not eat any solid food at all for 9 days before the event. Only shakes. And 12 hours before, also no more liquid. Erin Heatherton, the ex-girlfriend of Leonardo DiCaprio and former Victoria's Secret model, also quit her job at the lingerie company in 2013 after 5 years, because she was allegedly repeatedly told to lose more weight. This led to depression and almost drove her into an eating disorder. Which brings us to the reason that actually makes her everyday life very unpleasant and sad. Because that this diet, the constant stress, and the hard training can go to the substance, Romys Stride also had to experience when she discovered at the age of only 15 years the modeling for themselves and fashion weeks in Paris, Milan, and New York walked. At that time, she was often left to her own devices and barely knew a word of English. She had psychological problems, suffered from panic attacks, and could not cope with the strict diet. She even interrupted her modeling career, but just a year later, she unexpectedly got the opportunity to model for Victoria's Secret. Although Stride actually knew that the job would not do her any good, she was afraid to miss the chance and accepted the job. However, the permanent pressure became even worse as a result. She kept suffering from severe migraine attacks, and her periods stopped for 7 years. Her doctors finally diagnosed her with PCOS, or polycystic ovary syndrome. This metabolic disorder can lead to infertility and was probably caused by too much stress, exercise, and a severely restricted diet. A hard price the supermodel had to pay for her success. That's why she decided to cut back for good at the end of 2019 and moved from New York back to the Netherlands to spend more time with her family. She worked out less and changed her diet. She simply wanted to feel good in her skin again and do something good for her body. And indeed, her methods were successful. Miraculously, she actually became pregnant, and in December 2020, the 26-year-old gave birth to her healthy daughter, Mint. Since then, she has led a completely normal family life. She has to clean up, cook, do laundry, and take care of her daughter. Workouts, photo shoots, and fashion shows have to wait at the moment, but Romys Stride is happier than ever. She has largely given up the sad life of a supermodel, but according to her, it was definitely worth it. That's it for our video. Feel free to write us in the comments what you think about the life of a Victoria's Secret model, and whether this would actually be a dream job for you. Otherwise, like this video if you enjoyed it, and see you next time, here at Wonderlane.